Good morning. Is it still morning? Yes, it is. Good morning. Welcome to TCCA. This is our third session. Hopefully, you got to go to the second session and you got your secret password and you got to see the keynote. The keynote was outstanding, amazing. I'm I was so happy I got to see it this year, and I'm so happy that you are joining us this morning. If you have any questions as we go through the presentation, and I'm going to post a link to her agenda in just a second. But if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and we will get to them. I'll pull them up on the screen. And if we don't get to them at the end, we will ask them again. Um, I have a co-host and she's amazing. Her name is Shamila Robinson and she's not in this room right now. So I hope she finds her way to it. Uh, and we have an amazing presenter. Her name is Crystal Stolte, and I hope I'm saying that right. Every time I get to the E, I extend it or not. I'm sorry. But this is over Seesaw. I got to see the very first presentation, and it was awesome. So hopefully y'all will enjoy it. And again, ask your questions in the comments, and we will get to them on the right-hand side. And I will give the super-duper secret password at the end. And take it away, Crystal.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Stolte. I stole the T's, like one of my family likes to say. I am a pre-K teacher and HISD. I have been teaching pre-K, oh my gosh, probably about 10 years now. But I also was a computer teacher for pre-K 8 in a private school. I also have a master's in curriculum education and a master's in technology education. So I'm going to be going over Seesaw in the classroom. My babies in pre-K last year and for the last couple of years actually have been using it. And when we had to end up going to remote, I automatically jumped in and was like, my kids know how to use Seesaw. That's what we plan on using and going to use. I taught my colleagues how to use it and got them on board and was able to get my principal on board. However, this year we are not using it in our school district because our school district has us using Microsoft Teams. And with everything going on, we just didn't want to overwhelm our families with giving them lots of different technologies to use, or like, just let's get them on Teams, get them into the live lessons and go from there. So yeah, just being said, that Seesaw is really not where you would be teaching live lessons. It'd be more where you're having students posting work, or you're posting work for the students to do and kind of modeling it. So it might be used more for your asynchronous teaching time than your synchronous teaching time. So that being said, I'll just jump right on into it and go with creating an account. So you go to seesaw.com. It will take you to their webpage. Just one thing I will say right now off the bat, Seesaw is such a user-friendly thing. That's one reason why I love using it with my babies. And my colleagues didn't have any issues going over and learning about Seesaw because it is just so user-friendly all around. Even their help area, I love Seesaw's Help Center. It is just very easy to follow, gives you step by steps, tells you what you need to do. So if we can't answer your questions, or if you want to learn more about how to do something in Seesaw, just go to their help. I mean, that's one thing that I have used a lot from them. And even if I didn't know something, or my colleagues, I didn't have time to go over with a colleague, I would just send them to the help and be like, here, type this in. Or here's the link when I researched it so you can follow these steps. So like I said, we're going to create an account. You just click sign up for free. And you would say, I am a teacher. And then you put in your name. I don't know if I have any more email addresses. Let's see. I think I have another email address I can set this up with. And all right. Confirm your password. Create a teacher account. Or you can sign up with Google if you have a Google account as well. Create a teacher account. I'm going to make a password that's long enough. All right, there we go. Create a teacher account. Maybe. Okay, 1 second. Let's try this password. Try and just passwords match. There we go. All right, so you create your account. You can import your class from Google Classrooms. I don't have Google Classroom, so I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but I'm sure it's very user friendly and just very easy to do. You can type the name of your class, pre-K, Stolte pre-K. Choose what grade level it is, choose pre-K, click check. It generates your class for you. All right. I'm actually going to sign out of this account and sign into mine, actual one. I'm a teacher, so if you have the account already, you just sign in. Go to the same thing. You go to seesaw.com, click sign in, and then you can sign in. I have it with a Google account, so I'm just going to click on sign in with Google. Click on what my Google account is, and there we go. So I actually have 2 classes in here. Here's my class from last year. And let me go to the test run one because you will see I will go over what you're seeing in Google and Seesaw right now. And what you see in Seesaw, you will see in the same way on any kind of device that you use, the phone, a tablet, Android, iPhone, Apple, iOS. That's one thing I love about Seesaw too, is that it looks the same across all platforms. So it makes it so much easier to use. You're not like, so if you're jumping to a kid's using an Android device and you're on an Apple device, it looks the same. You're not trying to have to help them figure out where things are at because they're a little bit different because they're on different devices. That's not the case here. So we'll go over the different parts of what you're seeing on your thing. You have your journal. This is where you will see all the students in your class, their work. You'll see it all at the same time. So this is from the earlier session that we were doing. You'll see all the students here listed. And then over here on this side, you would see all the work that they've done. Activities. This is where you will see the activities that you have posted for the students. These are the ones that when I was working on it, we were doing and showing. Here's all the different activities over there you can post. You will see where the students have responded, where they have not responded. You can click on it and it'll show you, tell you, look, all these kids have not responded to this. It'll tell you if a student has, here we have a response. It'll show you that this person, Karen, has responded. If it's waiting for approval, which I'll go over in a little bit, it will show you that as well. If the kids have started it, but they haven't turned it in, it shows you as a draft. The 3 little dots for the menus, you can see archive, edit folders, get student links, pin to the top where you pin it to, so it's the first activity the kids will see. And you can print the activity. The inbox, this is where you send announcements to the kids. So it's basically like a chat forum where you can send it to, you can do it individually with the kids, or you can do it to the student announcements. So I did that a lot last year where I would send student announcements of telling the kids, I guess I can show you real quick. I would send it to them in the announcements. I would send it to them and tell them, okay, for today, this is what you're going to be doing. Here is, and I would maybe send a video with it. I would add links into it. Of course, towards the end of the year, I kind of got a little lazy there, but, and then, like I said, send videos. The families could send, respond back to it in here. They could send it to as a family announcement, student announcement. You get the notifications as well in here telling you what's going on. And skills, this is a premium feature. I think it's 90 days that you can get the premium for right now, if I remember correctly when I looked at it yesterday. Otherwise, it's buy 1 year for $120. I actually did the free last year when we started going remote because, and I think it was actually, they had it longer. Anyways, with that premium, you can schedule assignments or activities. You can get over, if you have the free, you can only get 100 activities saved into your catalog, which I'll go over in a little bit. But the premium, you can get more than that. I think it's like to 500. And there's some other features that you can get with the premium if you're feeling of interest and want to purchase it. or just try it out for the 90 days. So let's see, go over student sign-ins. Oh, I forgot one part. Let me go back to this. The plus sign right here, the add. So the add sign here is where everything you will kind of be mostly working with to add your assignments, send your announcements. So you can add an assignment, send the announcement. So that's where I wrote in there earlier. You can say to students, to family members, to all of them, add to students, and you can just say, good morning. You can add an attachment where you can add a picture, wave, good morning, there it is, add it in there, and it gets uploaded, send now, and on the kids' end, they will see the announcement. They'll get a notification that there is an announcement and whatever you want to say to them. Also on the plus sign, you can post students' work. So if you're in the classroom and I have this on my phone, I have it on my tablet, you can post students' work as well. So like say you're seeing a student doing something, working on something, and you like what they're doing, and you just want to real quick do it for them, you can take a picture, take a video, whatever you want to, however you want to respond to the student's work, and you can do it yourself and just put it into their journal to share. And that's a great way you can share with the families at home what their kids are doing in the school. So that's on the plus side. So let's just go over real quick how to, the little gear here. This is also the way you're going to manage your Seesaw. To manage Seesaw, so here's where you set up your class name. You can change it if you want. We'll just do sample class. So I can change it right now. Sample class. So here it's changed. You can change what grade level you want it to be. You can manage teachers. You can invite other teachers. So last year, I added my ancillary teachers to this. And I think you can add up to 5 teachers. I think that's the most we could get in there last year. But so we just added our ancillary teachers. So our ancillary teachers could have the kids post their work here and send activities to the kids as well. So that way the kids only had to go to one class, and it just made it easier. You can change the color of your theme. You can change the class icon. You can upload a photo of it. You can manage how the students sign in. So student sign-ins, I used to have shared devices before COVID. So this is how I would do it, set it up in my classroom where the kids, we just scan the QR code. The students would click the plus sign to add to the journals. Then they would hit the green check, and then at the very end of it, before it would get posted to their journal, they had to find their picture and name, and they would just click on that, and it would share to the journals. One thing I did like about this, and I don't know if it's available with, which probably not, because the students are only signing in by their own devices. But one thing about the shared devices is that you can pick, the kids were able to pick multiple students. So if a group of kids were working together and they built something and they wanted to share it, they could take a picture of it. Once they took the picture and like want to add it, and they would go to the part where whose journal they want to add it to, they would click, just like they could click on Karen, they could click on Lisa, and they could click on Sandy, and they could add it to all of their journals, and so that they could share it with their families. The class one-to-one devices is probably what more like people are going to be doing now because of COVID, and if you have one-to-one devices, like our school districts is moving more to with the kids that bring their devices to school, and even the ones at home, you can set them up this way. You can also sign up kids through their Google accounts, or emails. I did see that you can sign up through Clever somehow. I'm not exactly sure how that one works, but I'm sure it's just the same way. If you click on Clever, it's going to be one of the icons, and it signs them in through that way. Manage your students. So you can manage your students. You can add students. You can change their names. I just always put in first names. I never put the kids' last names in. You can change their icons. You can use a photo. I typically do adding their photo through my phone or a tablet because it's just easier instead of having to go look through your computer. You can use your camera or you can upload an image, but you can drag it from your computer. But you know, on the computer, you have to go find the file. Whereas if you're on the phone or a tablet, it automatically takes you straight to your photos. So I add the photos. Some of my colleagues just did the icons. Since I teach the babies, you know, they're still learning how to read. They're learning to recognize their names. So that's one thing, you know, we always do around the classroom is it's their photos with their name everywhere. So I just try to change it. I just add their photos because it makes it easier at the beginning of the year. If you train them to learn what their icon is, they can go by learning to knowing what their icon is. You know, our babies need those pictures, those icons. It helps them a lot. What's their precursors to reading? You can put an email address in here for the students. You can add a family member. So I don't have any family contact. You just click on invite a family member. And I think we noticed earlier, if you click on it, you might get a notification that you have to turn it on. Just click turn it on. So let's see here. We'll add a family member to Karen. We'll just put my brother's name in and he'll get an email from this and be asking me later on what's going on. So then you just click on invite families. You can see what happens after I invite a family. They get an email. You can invite more families. So what happens when you invite the family is that the parents will download the family Seesaw app at school or here in the classroom on devices. You would download the Seesaw class app. So there's two ones. They have a family and a class. Teachers and students will use the class one. Family, so if a mom wants to see the work on their phone, they need to download the Seesaw family app. And that would just show them only their child's work. Also, with the way the setting up is that you can manage here in the Seesaw class one if the students can see each other's work. So confirm changing. Right now, my students in here would be able to see each other's work. If you set up for the home learning, it automatically sets it up, I believe, changing it to where students can't see each other's work. You know, privacy things, I just always kind of set it up now where they can't see each other's work because especially if the devices are going home with them. And when we were sharing the devices, I didn't mind if they saw each other's work because the devices didn't go home with them. They stayed in my classroom. New items require approval. So anytime a child posts anything into Seesaw, whether it be a message, a comment, a response to an activity, it's going to I have it set up to where it requires my approval. So that way that I see before it's post out there anyway for anyone to see, I have to say, yes, it's okay. I highly recommend this just so you don't get anything out there that shouldn't be out there. And, you know, with my baby, sometimes I would get pictures of feet, black screens, because they're accidents, you know. So I would just delete them or wouldn't approve them and just delete it myself and move on with my day. But yeah, this is the biggest one I would say is to make sure that this is marked as green. Edit items. Students can edit their items if they want to. I just leave it on so that if they want to edit, they can. Enable sample students. So that's why I have that sample student there. You can do that so you can play around with it. Enable family access. Invite families, manage families. So that's, if you want to explore that one more, I'll let you go on to that one. Enable class blog. I don't have that. I haven't used it. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go for it. You can set up folders. One of my colleagues did this. She set up folders for the different subjects. That's for her organization. I did it. I just didn't follow through with it. And it wasn't me. I just took extra steps that I just didn't feel like taking the time to do. Manage skills. Like I said, that's a premium feature. So if you want to have skills, and I'm guessing that has to do with, objectives and stuff. So you can add those as well. So add students, go over there's your classroom set up. So when you click add students, so students sign in, this is just for the one-to-one devices, or in the depending on how you've set up, if you have shared devices, which probably not right now, the time we're in, but if you have the one-to-one devices, or a kid has their own device, this is the one you'll probably be setting up, or the home learning codes. The main difference between the one-to-one device and the home learning codes is, if you see this expires, these codes expire in an hour. So if you give them the home learning codes, they do not expire. Whereas these, like I say, this one, the one-to-one device ones, expire. That's the only main difference I have seen between them, because once a child signs in to Seesaw, it keeps them signed in unless they sign themselves out. So if a kid is sharing a device at home, it's probably best for sure to give them the home learning codes, because that way they can sign in and out. Whereas with this one, I think that, I don't even think it even used to have the code again, because I've had to sign in and out from student devices, and it just lets me go in. But anyways, so I'll show you as a student how to sign in. So let me see here. I have my iPad set up here. All right, so the students on their devices, let me scoot this over a little bit so you can see the code. Excuse me, they will click I am a student on their device or computer, whatever it may be. They can use computers for this as well. And then you can either put the code in right here into the text the code, or you can just scan the QR code. For the first time, they will pick who they are, and we will be Chalk. Sign in as Chalk. Yep, check. So we're going to be my dog. No, I don't want notifications. So here is what the child will see. Let's just move this out of the way so y'all can see what the student sees on their end. And like I was saying, oh, let me just actually show that back. Like I was saying, if you notice, both of them look very similar. The teacher and the student screens, they look very similar. They have the journals, activities, inbox. They just don't have the skills and the gear and stuff, but it looks very similar. That's one thing I love about Seesaw. It's, like I said, it looks the same across all the platforms. Even my teacher view looks similar to the student view. So let's go back here. Let's go back to what the students see. So what the students see is they have their plus sign where they can add. They have where the journal is, where there would be in their journal. They have the activities that I have posted for them to complete. They have those notifications that I sent to the kids' inbox. Here's my announcements. So if you remember earlier with that good morning and gave a picture of myself, so they see those and they can respond to it, I believe, or save it. They can send me notifications. They can add to their journal. So if they were doing something great in class and they want to show it to you, but there's not an activity, they can still do that. They can still just take a picture of something that they were doing in class. Say they wrote their name amazing for the first time or something. They can just take a picture of it and send it into the journal and share it to you if they would like. It doesn't always have to be a response to an activity. So that's what the kids' view looks like. And I'm just going to jump back real quick to talk about the home learning codes. So if you are still remote, or you have some of the kids like I do right now where we're blended, we're remote and in class, I may send the get home learning codes. So you can print the codes, download the class codes. I already downloaded class codes from last time. So here it is, it saves. You can send them the sign in with the text code, and expires. No, these do expiration in 2021. So it's a year. The code's good for a year. Or you can click on the PDF here. And what I would do is I would just screenshot this and send this to my parents at home. And it gives them step-by-step instructions of how to sign in. That's what I've said previously, this is what I love about Seesaw. It's so step-by-step and clear of how to give directions. And sorry about notifications here. No, go away. Go away, notifications. Anyways, so here is the home learning. All right. So let's go to, as a teacher, let's exit out of this. Let's post an activity. All right, so we'll just make this behind here so we can see. Let's post an activity so that you can see as a teacher how you may post an activity. So like I was saying earlier, you just click the plus sign, you go assign an activity. You can browse their community. I may have to go delete some activities because I have over 100. So you can browse their community. They have, you can search, you can narrow it down by what grade level you want it to be. So if you want to be in kindergarten, you can narrow it down by what subject you want it to be. Maybe I want to do one on social emotional learning. There's lots of activities that teachers have posted out there. You can take one and edit it to make work for your kids. You would just click on it. I think I actually used this one if I remember correctly. You click on it. You can say assign to your class. You can click down here on the 3 little dots. You can add it to your collection. You can copy and edit the activity. You can remove, and it's actually in my library. So you can remove it from your library. You can share the activity with other people as well. And I'll go over that in a moment. So if you say you want to assign this to your class, so you just click on assign. You choose what class you want it to be. You assign it to one class. And then this tells you how the students will go and do that. You can even, I guess they have this, I don't remember seeing showing how the kids will use the activity. So that's how you can find activities that are in the community. And there's so many of them out there. And we would sometimes, if you get, I would recommend this at first for all my friends that were trying, or my colleagues that were trying to use Seesaw for the very first time. Just go find an activity, see how they did it, see what, if there's one that works for you, and just do it that way. Or you can create a new activity where I'm gonna have to delete one. So let me delete one real quick. Delete activity. Because I know I have, like I said, I have 101 in here, so it's not gonna let me, if I try to create an activity, see, it's going to tell me I have to, so 500 activities if you buy the premium. So if you don't have an activity, you got to delete it. So what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. All right. Oh, yeah. So add a new activity. Oops, because I'm still at 100. Let's delete this one from earlier. Delete activity. Delete. Okay. So I'm going to create a new activity. Oh, what am I still at? Too many. Let's refresh it real quick. 90. Okay, there we go. Create a new activity. All right, so we can say sample activity. Here is where you will create your activity and instructions. Okay, so here's where I would put in whatever. I can put links into here. I could put the step-by-steps of what the kids are going to do. And like, with my babies, and maybe some of our friends, people in here, kindergarten and first graders, those kids are still learning how to read. So Seesaw has a great way of, you can add icons in there so they know what to do. So you could say, take a photo. Well, they may not be able to read this, but they can read an icon, right? It even helps the grown-ups if grown-ups are helping them. So Seesaw has where you can put in this little code and it will turn it into this icon. So I could type in this code right here, photo. Oops, wrong button. I would type in photo. And when I hit save, and they see the instructions, it has that icon of photo so that they would know. If I would say take a photo, click on the photo icon. I may write that out more, but I could, it will show up in there so they know what buttons to push when they're in their activity. I'm just going to come in here and edit the activity real quick. So you can add voice instructions. So you just click the thing to add instructions of what they would need to do. If you want to do audio instructions, you can add multimedia instructions. You can add a photo, a drawing, a video, explaining it. I would do a lot of videos and modeling how to do the activity. I would do them off screen with and then I would upload them. So here you can just drag and drop a video. Here it is. You can even add some more text to it if you want to. You know, your instructions. You can add some stuff to it as well. I did notice, and it didn't happen earlier, but I did notice last year, I guess it's because it was longer videos, and I think we said that they can be up to like 5 minutes. My longer videos, they had a hard time uploading on my computer. And I don't know if that was just because of the internet I had at the time or just there was so much going on. I always would just create my lessons on the computer and type it all out, and then I would just go back and hit edit and then add the multimedia from the recording of the video on my phone and add that in there because it worked. It didn't take so long to upload. And then you can just there's more options, and you can add a template to your students for them to respond to. So you can add a template where you can have a photo that you want the kids to respond to, or a drawing. So if you want to create a circle map in here or some type of graphic organizer, you can do that. You click on the 3 little dots to edit it. You can lock it. So I would lock them a lot so the kids wouldn't move them once they go into the edit. So circle map. And then, you know, you add another one. Get a big circle map if you're familiar with circle maps. 3 little dots. Order. I guess I could ask, is there any questions right now while I'm working through here? I really haven't asked it. So you create a circle map, you click the check mark, and it will save it. If you want to add pages, that's a premium feature. So if you want to do that, you can delete. You don't want to use that one. You can add a video, a link, notes. If the notes, you want them to fill out something. Upload, I would just upload a lot of templates from my Google Drive. So here's my Google Drive. Here's a circle map on pets that we were doing. And you click the check mark and it gets uploaded. And you click on save, and there's that activity. Now I'm going to assign it to my class. Assign. There it is. Okay, so let's go to the student view and see what they see. Let me make this smaller so you can see it. All right, so here is Chalk. Chalk is in his thing. He has a lot of activities to get done. So here's the one we just made. We can click on, he will click on add a response. And here's what he needs to do. He has a circle map that he needs to complete. He can click up here, it says view instructions, and it will show him what his instructions are. He can listen to the play instructions, and it will play. It's just not going to play through my computer right now. Also, if he's back here, if he just taps on this, it shows the instructions as well. So let's go add a response. So he can either, and I gave my kids a lot of freedom on this because they became so creative in their responses and that's one thing I love is when the kids can just be creative and show what they're learning in their way and being just that creativity. So you can write your name. Some of the kids would type it out. Some of them would draw it. You could either draw a picture of here. So if you want to draw a picture of a dog, I'm not going to do that because my drawing skills. So you can upload a photo. So we're talking about pets. So let's see here. I'm sure I have a pet of him right here. There he is. I can put Chalk and his own pet thing here. And then he would just click check. And I think it's going to take a while for it to upload. It was giving me error message about that for a while, a moment ago. So sometimes it takes a while to upload. And I think it's just because I'm streaming right now. But if they do the photos, I had a lot of kids do photos and videos last year. And while that's taking a moment to upload, I'm going to go back to the teacher view real quick. Where did I go? There it is. To show you how you can share. Oops. You can share between your colleagues. So let me see, view all my activities. So here is one of my coworkers from last year. She created an activity. All she did was click share activity. You can email it to a teacher. You can post it on social media. You can embed it actually into websites if you want. And she would, or we would just copy the links and we would send them to each other. So I'm going to put it here so you can see. So if you get the copy to the link, you would save activity. And it will save it to your activity library. And you can now go in and do whatever you want to do. If you need to change it for your own, I could edit and copy activity. So that way I could edit it to work for my class. You can remove it from your library if you want to remove it. So it's no longer there. So that was one way that we were able to share our activities as teachers instead of always having to create new content. If you liked we saw a colleague was doing something great, we would just share it with each other. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let's go back real quick to Chalk's response. Okay, we're not going to put picture in. Let's see. It's not going to go this. Well, let's see here. Let's go back to class. I'll see if I can find the activities. We'll go here. We did earlier today. So here's the response that we did earlier as a student for a kid. So here's where I made a little, hello, my name is Stolte, how the child responded. And I responded with the comment here. So as a teacher, I would always go in and like the kids so the kids would know that I saw their work. Then I would also come in and write a comment. I could write a comment, but since, like I said, I teach the little ones, they really can't read. So I would do a lot of audio recordings for them and telling them, great work. Oh, I loved what you did. Sometimes I would ask them follow-up questions. And sometimes the kids would see them or respond back. So you can do that as well to respond. And let's just, all right. So that's one way the kids will respond. No, sorry, oops. All right, so here we are back. Let's just we'll come over here to that one activity. All right, here's Chalk again. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping back from teacher and student view for you.
Crystal, you have 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll just do a real quick. The kid will do a drawing. So hello, whatever the activity may be. I know it's not following the instructions of what the activity is, but so here's the check mark. So you can just see what you'll see when a student posts an activity. All right, so like I said, let's hit refresh. It'll show up. So let's see here. Why is it not showing up? This is the one we responded to, right? Oh, wrong one. My bad. Here it is. So it says, I get a notification. It says, you have one response waiting for a teacher approval. So remember when we were in the gear and I said that you need to have the new items required approval? This is what that means. The students cannot see it. They can see it. The child can see it on their end, but no one else can see it at all. If you're sharing student work through all the kids can't see it until you approve it. And so it says review. You can review it. You can click here. You can even click here and see all the kids who have completed work. So I've approved Karen's. Chalk did one. Let me go over review his. And here's where I'll click approve. And like I said, you can do the comment, the like. You can add the comment. That's where you add the skills. You can put it in a folder. You can send it back. So say they sent you something and it's not 100% correct, or they can do it better. You can send it back and with those comments telling them, hey, do it this way or whatever. If like my babies, like I said, they would send me pictures of kids or toes or black walls or whatever, I would just delete it. I would just, especially if they can respond more than once to an activity, I believe. Or I don't know if that was a premium feature, but some of them would on accident and I would just hit delete. You can edit their own post. You can edit the people that it gets assigned to as well. And I can hit approve. So I'm liking what Chalk did here. I'm approving his post. And then I can just exit out. So I've approved his. So when we come back to Chalk's view and we hit journal, it's telling him it's no longer waiting for teacher approval. All right, so I think, yeah, those are pretty much all those points I wanted to go over. I will just show you real quick some of the stuff my kiddos did last year. I'll show you Jace's work. His mom is actually a colleague of mine, so I got her approval before. So they would do, I would give them responses. Sometimes they would just do something and send me a picture of a thumbs up. Where is the math one? So here's basic example. So like here, I made the activity. I would create the activity. Here's my example of what they need to do.
Right, so you're going to identify a letter in your house. So I see the letter M. So I'm going to write the letter M in both the uppercase.
Okay, and so then I would add and drop.
So the first picture I found was a motorcycle.
So easily, if you're doing on your computer, you can just drag and drop them into your, if you saw when I did the video earlier, you just drag and drop it into the screen. So then the kids knew what they had to do for their device, theirs, and they would do that.
This is in. It's on with Netflix, Ninja Turtles, and Nose.
So they responded. And like I said, my kids, I loved it. After a while, they just got very creative in their way they responded to their things. So here I had a syllable thing. They had to do it, and he responded with his own.
Sunblock.
Sunblock.
So there you go. It's like kind of just, you can be creative with it. And like I said, if you need help with it, go to Seesaw Help. My email is there if you have any questions or want to ask me anything else. Is there any questions now that I can answer?
No questions. I think everything has been answered so far.
Okay.
I guess if there are not any more questions, can I give them the secret super password?
Go for it.
Okay, let me go ahead and find the super secret password. This is session 3. And there it is, and it is case sensitive, so you will get an email with your certificate, and for you to be able to retrieve your certificate, you need that secret password. If you do not have any questions, I want to thank y'all for joining us, and you can go to lunch. Is it lunchtime? Yeah, lunchtime. So we'll hang on for just a couple more seconds. Crystal, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm a
Thank you
huge
guys
fan
for
of Seesaw.
coming. We appreciate it. Oh, let me see. It should be in my agenda, but it's cstolte@hotmail.com. I mean, not Hotmail, HoustonISD.com.
Yeah, let me repost. I'll repost your agenda. There it is. There's the bit.ly to the agenda. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do, but I'm not on. I don't. I just snoop on Twitter more than anything.
I was going to tag you, but if
it's Stolte MS_Stolte, I believe. Let me double check real quick.
_
Stolte, MS_Stolte. I think it's underscore.
Gotcha.
Is that me? Let's see if that's me. That's me. Okay, yeah. MS_Stolte.
Okay, so thank you. Whoop whoop. All clear. Me too. All right. Well, if that's it, thank you so much, and y'all enjoy the rest of your conference. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast. See y'all later.
All right. Bye. Thank you.